Hey, good evening. I'm really happy to have you here. My name is Daniel. I was a professional opera singer and beatboxer, and tonight we're going to be listening to Geoff Castellucci perform I Walk the Line by Johnny Cash. So this one was released recently, and for those of you on my Patreon who have made requests, fear not, I did see them and I will react to them soon. I just want to make sure that I am getting to this huge music dump that has been happening recently between beatboxers and other artists that I really want to react to. I just want to make sure that it's a good mix of different types of music and not just Eric or Dan all the time. But fear not, I will get to more Eric and Dan soon. But I want to get a little bit more diversity on the channel right now. But with all of that said, fear not, I will get to them. And with that said, Geoff released this not too long ago. It's been a hot minute since we've done Geoff on the channel, and I just really enjoy the sultry, smooth, wonderful tones, the sonorous sound of Mr. Castellucci. So, I'm really excited to jump into this. I don't know how he's gonna modify the song, but I really do enjoy it. I've listened to a lot of Johnny Cash growing up, and I really enjoy this particular tune from him, so I'm excited to hear how Geoff does it in his own style and arrangement, and I hope you guys are excited as well. So without any further delay, let's jump into it.
Because you're mine.
Oh my gosh.
I walk the line.
I don't mean to pause this early in, but first let me just give credit to whoever audio designed this with how beautifully crisp and clean that was, especially with the intro with the birds and just this beautiful, very benign, mild outdoor setting, a couple birds chirping and just feeling the stillness with very minimal movement. And then all of a sudden we're just floating while being grounded by his natural bass resonance, his extremely sonorous voice, and at the same time just floating, not resting in that bassness, but just riding this beautiful introduction without the music even coming in, just his voice. It's just majestic.
Because you're mine.
Oh, so warm.
I walk the line.
Just clips the N at the end of line.
I keep a close watch on this heart of mine. I keep my eyes wide open all the time. I keep the ends out for the tie that binds. Because you are mine, I walk the line.
Woo!
Because you're mine.
Just that line done in one breath. Yes. Just the word mine, just that singular cadence, just done on one breath, just floating, being penned so beautifully. I want to listen to that again.
Because you're mine. I walk the line.
Oh my gosh. And this kind of let's get on a saddle and ride is not as powerful as that original Johnny Cash version is. You still get that feeling, that vibe, that aesthetic, but it's much more reeled in just so we can feel this warm sun beaming down on our faces, kind of like it is in this still shot of Geoff here, where you just feel this more comfortable, relaxed vibe. It's such a different aesthetic from Johnny Cash's version, but it also pays so much tribute and homage to that version. It's just so wonderful.
I walk the line.
Yeah, so soft.
I find it very, very easy to be true. I find myself alone when each day is through. Yes, I'll admit that I'm a fool for you. Because you're mine, I walk the line.
Yeah, and in this cadence here, you get a little bit stronger in the volume, a little bit more of his chest voice coming through a little bit more broadly, and it doesn't stray too far from anything that we've heard so far. He's introducing this piece and guiding us through the piece very naturally. It doesn't feel like we're making any huge leaps into new dynamics or new tonal centers of the piece. We're just constantly flowing on this natural progression of the piece, and it's just so well paced and controlled.
I walk the line because you're mine. I walk the line.
Yeah, and just in that bassness, he doesn't rest in it. He just glides on top of that deep surface, and we're just gliding along with. It's so hard to explain, dude.
I walk the line.
Yeah, it just doesn't diminish in its sound, or it doesn't become flat by any means, even though a bass's natural instinct might be to be, oh wow, I really like how this sounds, how this feels in my body to sing this low note. I really want to get more of that, so you further emphasize it and then it becomes flat, or then it becomes sharp because you're adding too much energy into it. So the fact that he's so controlled here is a huge testament to his musicality, his training, and how he understands his voice.
I walk the line.
So soft, but beautiful, and so well supported.
As night is dark and day is light, I keep you on my mind both day and night. And happiness I've known proves that it's right. Because you are mine, well I walk the line. Because you're mine, I walk the line.
Beautiful harmonies. Yeah, and he still keeps that relaxed nature of the piece in these slides. It's very clean and very precise in what he's doing with the main focal points of each musical cadence. But in order to keep this very smooth, very chilled groove, we not only have these instruments which have that kind of aesthetic, but he also does things vocally that just further emphasize that we're still just flowing. It's not pinpoint precision in every single element, such as where he places the notes themselves and how he executes these notes, because those are exactly where they need to be. He still keeps the aesthetic through things like the slides, through these hums, and it's just so well balanced.
You've got a way to keep me on your side. You give me cause for love that I can't hide. For you I know I'd even try to turn the tide. Because you are mine, well I walk the line. Because you're mine, I walk the line.
Yeah, and there, instead of clipping the N on at the end, he slowly transitions to the N and just rides it through until he tapers it out. Oh, it's so majestic. Adds a nice little layer of contrast that's very, very subtle. But if you follow along with how he just ends these phrases, there's just always a little bit of contrast, which keeps the piece interesting, because it's not like we're straying too far from the emotional center of the piece. So in order to keep this constant flow, to not keep it monotonous in any way, there's just little elements of contrast that he disperses, where instead of the end being clipped on at the end and holding on that open ein for line, he just starts closing onto the N a little bit earlier and rides that out until he tapers it. And it's just so hypnotic, dude.
I walk the line. I keep a close watch on this heart of mine. I keep my eyes wide open all the time. I keep the ends out for the tie that binds. Because you're mine, well, I walk the line.
Yeah, there it is
Because
again.
you're mine, mine.
I loved the chordal progression of that. I want to hear that again. Really, really smart to introduce that at the end of the piece, just to further emphasize the flow and the contrast between that part of the song and the rest of the piece. Wonderful.
Because you're mine, mine, mine. I walk the line.
Love that his wife is there. Just to be there with him, with this beautiful warm light shining. Lovely. The audio design, the cinematography, the arrangement, the execution, the harmonies, everything just so warm, and it just makes my heart sing, dude. It's I don't know if any of you guys have ever seen Song of the South, but there's a character named Uncle Remus performed by James Baskett, and his voice gives me something very similar to Geoff's here, where it might not be as deep as Geoff's is, but just that feeling, that beautiful sonorous voice, and it's just so warm and lovely. It just flows so intrinsically, and whenever I hear him sing Zippity Doo-Dah, it just creates this feeling in me that is very, very challenging to replicate by other artists. And I think Geoff did so really well here in this particular piece, where you just have this beautiful flow, and it just creates this incandescent warmth that emits from my heart outward to the rest of the world, just like the video, the cinematography itself in the video does so well, with its lighting, with that sun beaming down, with Geoff looking up and feeling that warmth. We feel that warmth. We see this, we experience this with him, and it's just so wonderful. I love it so much. Just amazing arrangement. I really loved this vibe. I loved how much more relaxed it was, but still kept the spirit of Johnny Cash's version, and it was just lovely. Great job, Geoff, and the rest of the team. This was really something. I really enjoyed myself in this. Thank y'all so much for watching this video. If y'all liked it, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. And if you didn't like it, please leave a dislike and let me know why in the comments. I do read all of the comments, even if I may not have to reply to them, so please know that your comments do not go unnoticed. I want to take this time to appreciate all of you for being here watching these videos. It really does mean a lot to me, so thank you so much. And I can't wait to see all of you in the next video. Have a great rest of your evening, everyone.